after, get our runners on base, and let's run the bases.
That brings up Max Marshak, Jr. out of Amarillo. A first-year transfer from Texas Tech, so he'll see a former teammate tomorrow. Levi Wells, the starting pitcher for the Bobcats, also a former Red Raider, the Saturday starter for Texas State.
Well, he's been good all year. Levi Wells has been some kind of good for them on Saturdays.
Just earned Sunbelt Conference Pitcher of the Week honors. It's a ball and 2 strikes here to Marshak. So again, the Cajuns winners of 5 in a row. And with a win tonight, that would mark their longest winning streak of the season. And able to check his swing on the appeal down to Zach Neff at first base.
Well, Zeke Wood throws so many fastballs, and I'm sure they've sat in there and watched a ton of ESPN Plus video of him, and you know that a lot of it's going to be 80-85% fastballs and getting after it.
Marshak pops up. Lewis, the catcher. 2 outs in the first inning. And Ty, I referenced the struggles for Wood last week. Spoke to Steve Trout about the game last Friday in Monroe, and he said, with all those ULM hitters, 5'10" and shorter, it shrunk the strike zone. Wood likes to attack the top of that zone, and so it made it difficult for him last week.
Well, you've heard me say this all year, and I know you're probably tired of hearing me say it. He pitches in that triangle, and the top of that triangle, that high spin rate fastball, is where his success is. And you're right. If the target was smaller, and that makes that top of the triangle fastball not as effective if they can take it.
Heath Hood, the batter now for Louisiana. Junior from White Oak, Texas. A number of native Texans on this Cajun roster. He pops up himself. Zeke Wood making quick work of the Cajuns in the top of the first. 3 up and 3 down. We headed up on the road in conference play, 12-0.
That's incredible.
That's tied to Sheffield for ball 1. 7 sweeps now, and that is a new single-season record.
That's just so impressive on so many levels, and 12 in a row on the road. I mean, you always figure the road's going to be tough, and maybe a run difference in the game possibly, and just getting to new surfaces and playing in new backgrounds and crowd. I mean, everything.
And it hasn't been easy. A lot of those road games, they've had to overcome deficits and dig deep, and last Friday, a good example of that. This time, a week ago in Monroe, they trailed the Warhawks 4-2 going into the 9th inning. But like they have done so many times this year, Ty, they found a way.
Well, just like Arkansas State. They were down 6-1, I think, going into the 8th or the 7th or something very similar. But these older, experienced hitters, a lot of times when guys go to the bullpen, the guys they're bringing into the game aren't as good as what the guys that just left. And these older hitters just, after they get their 4th and 5th at bat, they start to wear you down. And if you don't play defense again, I think that's kind of what happened at Monroe last weekend a little bit. Monroe didn't play great defense. Maybe they had some infield hits and some things go their way with some walks. And you give them a door or a crack in the door, and they'll kick it open.
Sheffield lashes that one foul. So the Bobcats are the first Sunbelt team to reach 20 conference wins, but yet there's not really any breathing room because nobody else is losing at the top.
No, I mean, Georgia Southern, and they just keep finding ways to hang in there and win and play good, and, they played so good when they were here. I mean, they were impressive. Older team, too.
That is a fair ball off the bag at third. Sheffield, a leadoff single. Good for hit number 73 of the season.
Well, sometimes you just shake your head when you watch this young man play and hit, and you watch him. I think it was the last game we did last Friday or last week or 2 weekends ago. He hit a ball to the right side first and doubles the right side. Then he comes back and pulls the ball to the left side. I mean, to tell you how to defend that guy, and I've seen this guy as probably as much as anybody in the country outside of Coach Trout, and I couldn't tell you. I mean, he's so versatile with that barrel.
73 hits for Sheffield, a new single-season career high for him. And now it's Thompson. What a 1-2 combo these two have been in the order. Sheffield and Thompson, a lot of baseball between them. Both players hitting well over 330 this year. Thompson, 8 homers and 36 driven in. A swing and a miss for strike one. Thompson, good career numbers against Louisiana. 7 for 18 lifetime against the Cajuns, a .389 average. Fouls this one away for strike two. Bobcats a year ago in what was a tough season actually went to Lafayette and won the series at Russo Park 2-1.
Yeah, I had a chance to watch that, I think on ESPN Plus too, I think that it was one of those weekends where they kind of combined everything they could do well and did it well. And of course, Coach Deggs talks about how it's been transition for them. He feels like this is his really first class, because when he got there, he inherited what was there, and then COVID hit, and then you really couldn't do much even in 21. And as far as getting new players and developing players, and so I think he feels like, and I think he said this morning, he feels like this is like the team that he's kind of put together now, right? They're starting to understand what he likes to do.
There are only 2 players left from the roster that he inherited. Austin Perrin, who's been there, it feels like, for 20 years now, and Connor Kimple. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That'll fill the count.
Well, that's going to the point we were talking about at the beginning of the game, or just before Sheffield got up, about these hitters. They just so rarely expand the zone and get themselves out. A lot of times if that's a freshman hitter or a young hitter right there, he may chase that off-speed pitch and get himself out or hit into a double play.
A walk to Thompson. That is the 36th walk he's drawn this year, second most in the Sun Belt. And some early trouble here for Brandon Talley.
Well, and just like that. That's how quickly it can happen. And that, again, it goes back to just how much experience they have when they put those spikes in between. And then you can think to yourself, okay, because he's hit Jose Gonzalez at different places in the order all year, right? You got a left-hander on the mound. Well, a lot of times guys feel like, if you got a left-handed hitter or left-handed pitcher up there, let's move all of our right-handed guys in there. Well, this guy's hitting 400 off of left-handed arms. And he does such a good job off of left-handed pitchers hitting the ball the other way. So he's like, let's put him in the 3 hole, leave him there, and give him more chance to drive some guys in like he's got right now.
Foul ball, the swing there from Gonzalez. The exact number Ty was referencing, 409 average against left-handers this year.
Well, and what it also does, Brad, it kind of takes his best off-speed pitch, which can be his changeup. It kind of takes it away from him. A lot of left-handed pitchers don't like trying to throw changeups to the other side of the plate away from left-handed hitters.
A swing and a miss for strike 2. Tonight, the Bobcats are playing for their 4th straight win at a series opener. They are 7-1 in conference openers this year. Lone defeat came against Georgia Southern. 0-2 to Gonzalez. Talked about that come from behind win last Friday in Monroe when Gonzalez was the hero. Drove in the game-winning run at the top of the 9th inning. As locked in as anybody in the Sun Belt since the end of March. Doesn't chase, 2-2.
And he's locked in right now as well. He's making him work hard out there. All these guys are making Tally work hard. Look in here right now. We don't have an out. Runners on 2 guys on, and he's already at 16 pitches. And it's just, they're just exhausting, and can be exhausting at bats that they put on you.
And Ty, this is something you've referenced all year long. This team has great plate discipline.
Yeah.
You don't see them chasing a lot of pitches outside the zone.
No, you've already seen it now twice. You've seen it 2 hitters in a row where both guys fell down in a count. And it just, it's rare that everybody gets out and they're going to chase some balls, but it's rare that they chase bad pitches in counts where they shouldn't.
Full count to Gonzalez. Struck him out looking. Good pitch from Talley. First out here in the bottom of the first inning.
Well, that's a money pitch right there. That's a down and away fastball. He goes extension side from a left-handed pitcher. And let me tell you what, he'd thrown 2 breakers on that same line, and he goes down there and just drives that ball down there on the outer half of the plate. That's a great-looking fastball.
94 miles an hour on the radar gun. There for Talley. Out of the plate, Wes Faison, who has worked himself higher in the order now, batting cleanup tonight. Something you would not have guessed a month ago.
No, but he had good at-bats 2 weekends ago here, and some long at-bats, took some walks, hit some doubles.
You look back at his series in Monroe, 4 for 7, a pair of doubles, drove in 5, and had the pinch hit sac fly to tie the game in the 9th inning last Friday.
I think that Friday win turned that whole series around, and it may be that it plays even deeper into the whole season, because it looks like there's a chance you might get beat. RPI-wise, you can't afford maybe to lose to a team whose RPI isn't very good. You're chasing a conference championship. You feel like every once in a while you're going to stub your toe because you're on the road, and yet they still find a way to win.
Sheffield a base hit. Thompson a walk. Gonzalez a strikeout. Runners go, and no throw from Julian Brock. This is not a team many run against. Brock so good defensively behind the plate, but the double steal, and there's now runners at second and third.
Well, what they do is they pick the pitch before, right? So your runners at that point in time go, all right, he's going to go to a high leg kick and try to get up there and get after his fastball. So and again, it goes back to watching enough video, then having the comprehensive guys out there like Sheffield being able to pick that up and be able to get out there and steal.
Faison fouls that one back. A ball and 2 strikes. 20 caught stealings on the year for Louisiana. They've only allowed 28 stolen bases all season.
That's not on him. That's on the pitcher. And so he couldn't. He obviously didn't even attempt to throw. And that's an offensive, intuitive play and scouted out play that they know they pick once and they didn't go back to pick again, and or they felt like he was going to a high leg kick, and once they saw him come up, they got out of there.
Faison fly ball. This is crushed. Left center field. Demon time once again. 3-run homer, Wes Faison. It's 3-0 Texas State in the first.
Well, I'm telling you what, he catches a fastball middle in. It matched up just perfectly on that barrel. And I mean, he unloaded on it. And again, I think the runner pressure created a little bit of tension on the mound and ran the ball back into the middle part of the plate. And they got so many ways that they can get after you scoring-wise.
9th homer of the year for Faison, and with his team, 70 on the season, 5 shy of tying a single-season program record, and that's with 5+ games to go in the regular season.
Well, Coach Deggs talked this morning about you can give solos up, but you can't give the crooked numbers up. And, again, Thompson worked a walk. He didn't, he basically had to earn that walk, and he did. And it sets up a 3-run homer instead of maybe chasing and getting out, the hitter forward. And so, again, you look, and both teams are creative offensively and can do the exact same thing to you if you don't take care of the baseball and throw the ball in there and get to the edges of the plate as well.
This has been a stingy Cajun staff when it comes to surrendering home runs. First, they've given up in 3 weekends. None given up to UTA last week. None in Boone at Appalachia State. Last time it happened was in the late April series at Georgia State.
Well, that's got to do with their success and how they do things and how they've been doing things, but it also has something that's reflective about the team they're playing as well and how hot they are.
Pena smashes that one foul. 2-2 to the freshman.
I mean, we're 1 out. into the first inning in a 3-0 game already. But again, you look at the clicker and it's 26 pitches, and those are pitches you just don't get back later in the game when it comes to trying to extend yourself into the game longer.
And
a lot of truth in that, but he understands defense as well too.
The numbers show that. Again, a very good defensive team. As Lewis steps in, junior from Cy-Fair High School, hitting very well in Sun Belt Conference play. Season average of 288, that's not bad, but in conference play, hitting 349. OPS over 1,000. Of his 19 RBI this season, 17 have come in league games.
And some big ones, too. They're all big, but, boy, some critical moments.
A strike from Talley. It's 0-1.
I think sometimes pitchers come in here and they see Texas State's numbers, and I would too. I'm speaking from probably experience. And you think, I got to get after these guys with my off-speed stuff. But the reality is these guys are just so experienced. They don't, we've said it over and over, they don't chase that much. They don't get themselves into too bad accounts. They have long at-bats. And by the time they get to their third at-bat, they've seen everything you can try to get them out with. And, then they're not as bothered by, I haven't seen that yet, or he hasn't done that to me yet.
That hits Lewis. Second hit batter of the inning. And a laborious first inning continues for Talley. That hit by pitch, 30th pitch he's thrown, and the inning extends to Cameron Gibbons.
Yeah, the freebies, as Coach Diggs referred to them, and for me, it's always that free base rule. It's 3 free bases this inning. And, every time you do that with a lineup like this and the balance they have on both teams, you're playing with fire.
Highest scoring offense in the Sun Belt. Only team that's eclipsed 400 runs scored this year. Ball 1 to Gibbons.
Well, and I think for Brandon Talley right now, I think the thing that's probably been the toughest on him is he hasn't been able to execute that leadoff fastball. He has not really been able to get ahead. He got ahead on Sheffield, and then since then he really, he hasn't been able to get in there and execute that thing on a regular basis, and he obviously knows he's going to have to.
That ball slicing towards the corner and right. Hood is over and sliding attempt, but can't get there. Good effort there by Heath Hood, but a long strike for Gibbons.
Yeah, the way he broke on that ball, I thought he was going to have a chance to catch that. He went a long ways and went into a slide position, which is what you're to do when you go down towards the wall. You go into basically like you're sliding into second base. You use your feet to absorb the blow of going into the fence, and you keep your chest and your chin up so that you can still catch and see the ball to catch it.
Two on, two out, and 3 already in for Texas State here in the first inning. Ground ball to the shortstop, DeBarge. She'll flip to second to Leday, and that will end the home run from West Faison. A 3-run shot put the Bobcats on top here in the series opener. And we get our first look at Carson Roccaforte. Impressive-looking sophomore here from Texas. Ranks in the top 5 of the Sun Belt in a number of categories. Average, homers, and the league leader in runs batted in.
Boy stands in there with a lot of confidence. He's long. He's got a good timing, does a great job in his setup. He's already got his hands back into a setup position. He's got a great rhythm in there. As you heard Matt talk about that today and how much he loves the rhythm and have a little bit of flow in those guys' swings.
Roccaforte laces that one to right for another base hit on his season tally. Roccaforte, 62nd hit of the year. A leadoff single starts the Cajun second.
Well, just a good-looking swing right there. Catches the ball back out over the plate, kind of running away from him, Brant, and he stays in there just long enough, gets that barrel and hooks it over to right field. And John Wuthridge made a nice play. I thought when this ball first comes out that he was going to have a chance to be a double. And watch John Wuthridge go in there and cuts down the angle on that ball spin move right there. Gets that right foot down and makes a strong throw to second base.
Now the red-hot Julian Brock at the plate. Another player from Texas for Louisiana. More on Rockefort. Some Cajun fans might be wondering, why didn't he play Wednesday at Rice? Well, his grandfather, Papa as he called him, passed away last week. Services were held on Thursday. Rockefort's father picked him up from Houston after their win over the Owls Tuesday night so they could attend the Thursday services. And Carson very close to his grandfather. And that's why he didn't play at Reckling Park on Wednesday.
Well, certainly our thoughts go out to the whole family, but things are bigger than playing baseball. And those are just part of, unfortunately, it's part of life, and different, and people deal with them differently, and it shows you also the kind of person Mad Diggs is and the kind of family they have in that baseball and that dugout over there about wanting him to go do that and be a part with his family.
Talked about Brock from Texas, from Fulshear, not too far from Houston, a few miles southwest of Houston, Texas. First person in the history of Fulshear High School to sign a national letter of intent. 0-2. Fouled back.
Well, it's a growing area. My soon-to-be Hall of Fame cousin, Shane Leckler, lives there too with his family, and it is a growing area. When he first built his house out there back when he was still with the Texans, they were out there by themselves. They're not now. They're getting crowded.
That misses high, a ball and 2 strikes. Shane Leckler, what a punter at Texas A&M.
No doubt.
Long-time career in the NFL.
He did really well for himself. He'll be a Hall of Famer. He will be, and that's hard to do as a punter in the NFL.
1-2 from Zeke Wood. Struck him out swinging. Brock climbs a ladder and strikes out for the 29th time this year, and there's one down.
Well, what I'm about to say is easier said than done. Everybody goes, well, why do they chase it? Why do they keep chasing that ball that even above the triangle area right there? Is that it's got a high spin rate, it comes out of a high angle, and it just kind of keeps going up. And it's optically, it stays on that same plane with that high spin rate, but it's just hard for hitters to stay. We've seen it all year. It's hard for them to stay off of it.
Robertson takes a strike, the junior from Montgomery, Alabama. 294 hitter on the year, but just 1 for his last 15. We see the Bobcats and Cajuns hooking up on the baseball diamond. The two schools met each other earlier today on the softball field in the Sun Belt Conference Tournament. Exciting 1-0 game won by Louisiana in 8 innings. That's high, a ball and a strike.
You could see that. Of course, Lafayette's been good all year, and we're good for the last 2 decades, however you want to look at it, and has kind of been, at the top of the Sun Belt off and on for however long they've been in the league, and have done such an unbelievable job. It's so important there. But Coach Woodard's got her group. They over probably the last 3 weeks, 4 weeks, they started playing really good and grabbed some momentum, and then won a big ball game, the first game, and then it didn't surprise me that it was a 1-run game and it went extra innings.
Well, the game today snapped Texas State's 17-game win streak.
Well, there you go.
That gets away from Lewis. Couldn't block it on the breaking ball in the dirt. And Rockefort will advance over to second. So the Cajun softball team is in the Sun Belt title game again, reigning tournament champions. And they await their opponent, and they'll play the game tomorrow at 2:30 in Mobile, Alabama.
And so Texas State now has to go play the winner of
Georgia State and Coastal Carolina, I believe.
Okay.
As Wood steps off the mound and bluffs to throw to second.
I'd like to know how many bluff throws to second base I've had to experience this year because of the rule that they thought was going to change college baseball and speed the game up, and it didn't.
It's done the opposite. Here's a fly ball out towards left center. Isaiah Ortega-Jones walked the stage earlier today. And has that for the second out.
Well, so far what you've seen from Zeke Wood is textbook Zeke Wood. Fly ball outs. Pitching at the top of the strike zone, right at the mask area, right at the top of the triangle is referred to it. When you do that, you're able to get fly ball outs and then punch outs.
Now, Kyle DeBarge from Kinder, Louisiana, hailing from a high school baseball factory, Barb High School, where he won a 5A state title. A season that saw Barb go 39-2. Strike one from Zeke Wood.
Well, I got news for you. They've been winning state championships there for about the last 30 years, 40 years, and baseball is a religion in that area, in that town, and at a high school.
Popped up, Pena from first base into foul territory as Ortega Jones leads off the second for Texas State.
Yeah, but everything they need is here. They've put themselves in position. If the season ended today, they're in, and they've got to maintain that pace. And by winning, or if they win,
Ortega Jones bangs out one towards right center, caught on the run by Heath Hood. Covered a lot of ground there and makes a catch in front of the warning track.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. If you want to watch a break on a baseball by an outfielder and watch him open up his right hip and his right leg and go get the baseball and close down. You're talking about closing on a ball. That ball was smashed to right center. Look at him just break and just outrun it and then run. The last thing you do for it, Brant, is reach. It's exactly what he did.
And it brings up Dalton Sheffield. Singled is scored back in the first inning. And takes a strike at a good-looking breaking ball there from Brandon Talley. But, Ty, back to the resume and all the talk right now, and actually it's been a very hot-button topic, and that being RPI. And why does it mean so much towards your tournament fate? Because it appears to be a flawed system, one that perhaps Jim Schlossnagle exposed earlier this week, canceling a game against Incarnate Word, saying it doesn't help us to play.
Well, he's right. Everybody can argue. You can say what you want. You shouldn't cancel the game. Okay, you shouldn't. You signed a contract to play the game. Play the game. But I had a chance to play somebody one year in an extra game, and I wouldn't do it because I felt like our RPI is in a good shape. We don't gain anything if we beat them, and if you lose to them, then it's really bad, and so it's debatable as to the confusing part for coaches was for me. What weight does the RPI really and truly have? Mm-hmm. So if you're a committee and you're sitting in there and it's based on RPI, then take the RPI and let's string them out. That's it. And that end of story. And if you're not in that, then that's the end of it.
Sheffield grounds that one foul. When we talked to Matt Deggs about this very topic earlier today, he pointed out one of the flaws of RPI, and that being late season, especially for non-conference midweek games, you want to use those as an opportunity to throw some pitchers that don't have enough innings, get some position players some time in the field at the plate they wouldn't normally get. But you can't do that now if you're in the hunt for an at-large bid because the win means too much.
You can't develop. It's just part of it. Now, I agree with that, but that's also part of you try to build a program and a team that you can absorb that. A lot of your Power 5 schools can do that, but even they.
Sheffield didn't make contact to drop third strike, and he advances to first.
Well, he just continues to find ways to get on base, doesn't he? I don't know for the catch. The catcher just missed, and I think Matt's going to come out and question whether it was fouled off or not. I didn't see the ball change directions.
Got a full speed look at it there. A lot of times you're trying to listen for it. And I'm not sure if I heard contact made.
Yeah, no, I mean, it'd be tough to hear it up here, but what he's asking is he wants to see if any of the umpires out there saw the ball change directions. They're not going to. I'd be so shocked if they changed this. And really and truly, the way Sheffield, let's watch right here. I don't know. That ball didn't seem to change any direction at all, but Sheffield acted. Yeah, he didn't act like he fouled it off, and that's what the home plate umpire goes by. Yeah, I'd have been totally shocked if they would have changed that.
So the call stands. Sheffield advances to first. Still only one out, and it brings up Justin Thompson. Thompson walked against Talley back in the first and scored on the Faison home run. In the dirt. Ball one here to Thompson. And we also spoke to Matt Deggs about the Sun Belt and how he feels about the conference right now. He thinks the Sun Belt deserving of getting 3 or 4 teams in. But you got 2 right now on that proverbial bubble. Louisiana, one of them, with an RPI of 55. And it's going to take a hit next week. They're going to play Nichols. And they'll also play Little Rock at home to end the regular season. Coastal Carolina also on the verge of in or outs. The 2 teams that feel like close to being locks, Georgia Southern and Texas State.
I think for Lafayette to get in isn't that large, and I think they're trying to get out at first. Yep.
Sheffield running for second and has his second stolen base of the game.
Yeah, I could start to see a little bit of leg pressure from him. He was a little more locked in. He saw what the pitcher had been doing, studying his move. And again, he stole third a minute ago. Similar. Once you get in there and you start studying it and you have the confidence to go, and that's exactly what he's done both at bats now.
And now in scoring position here for Thompson. The count 2 balls and a strike. Blocked there by Brock. It's 2-1.
He's just had a hard time connecting on those ball speed. I mean, I think if you probably went back and looked at how he's thrown, how he's thrown over the last probably 4 or 5 outings, he's been so efficient and being able to hit with his breakers and his changeups, and so far tonight he's just hadn't quite been able to.
Fouled away for strike 2. But we asked Matt Deggs, what do you think it's going to take for you to get in?
Yeah, sorry. I meant to try to finish that. Sheffield's still on the base seemed to distract me, I guess. But the idea that, I think they've got to win 2 out of 3 here. That helps. That would make up the traction for whatever. If they win 3 against Little Rock and beat Nichols, it would add, that bonus pop of beating a 39 RPI team who has chances to continue to get a little bit more RPI as well. Would be huge for them. And I think that's what they would have to. That would have to happen for them.
Fly ball right field. Hood backing and has it. And Sheffield will tag from second to third on a productive out. 2 outs here in the second brings up Jose Gonzalez. So, yes, winning this series, perhaps winning all 4 games next week, at the very least 3.
And you got to win in the tournament. It's because, so now if they come in at third, so their first game is going to be with a 6 seed, correct?
Yes.
So that's not going to be may possibly not be a terrible RPI game. Then if you win, you keep moving up to probably grab some of the teams that have better RPIs, and you got a chance to do some things. And but the thing people got to remember too at the end, it's at the end all of it's combined. So every game, everything that happened, all the committee has it in front of them. But it goes back to what is the value of the RPI, and is that our tool that we're using? I think basketball argues with that. Baseball certainly argues with it. And more times than not, it ends in the Power 5 conferences that they're going to get their number of teams in. And their argument is well, our conference schedule is better from top to bottom. Yeah, that's hard to argue with. But then the weight, the metric of the RPI, then what does that really mean? If it's, if you're a 50 RPI in the SEC, that's how you end it. And if you're a 39 in the Sun Belt, that's how it ended.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So what value does it really carry, and how much should it carry?
Fouled back by Gonzalez. And one thing that Matt Deggs referenced was your team 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Winning this conference, winning 36 games, and being left out.
I just stood up. So you got me off my stool. And, that was so disappointing. And, there's a lot of things that go with that. But
Gonzalez checks the swing, fills the count 3-2.
Golly, they just don't chase that ball. I mean, again, I guarantee if you went out there and asked Brandon Talley right now, he's thinking to himself, how did he not swing at that? Why did he not swing at that? And so now that, you've changed what you're going to do with him right here, whether you're going to try to go fastball in or breaker away again. Struck
him out for the second time.
And if you get in 40, you can almost pack your bags and get ready. But inside 45, then it becomes, now a whole other mathematic issue is it becomes about how many teams, how many teams win their conference tournament that were already going to be in. So if they don't, and then a team who was outside that 50-something all of a sudden wins a conference tournament, then that's another spot taken up.
And that gets a piece of Will Vayon. So Wood, a hit batter, and leadoff man for the Cajuns, reaches for the second straight inning.
I'm trying to think, and when was the last time, and I'd love to ask some of the Cajun fans, that Matt didn't coach third base? Matt, ever since I've known him, he's coached third base. He's in front of the dugout tonight, and I don't know if this has been something that's been going on for the last couple of weeks, but I can't remember. I watched him against Arlington last weekend, and I don't know. I can't remember if he was coaching third or not. I was catching the end of those games and maybe didn't pay as close attention to it to see it, but he loves being out there amongst it. I mean, that's where he thrives out there.
Leday takes a strike, and you mentioned talking to Cajun fans. Well, you don't have to go far to find them. Louisiana traveling very well. You see a lot of that vermilion red here in the stands of Bobcat Ballpark. A lot of parents and friends, the players, and simply fans driving in cross state lines. Leday grounds to Sheffield to throw it second to first in time for a 6-4-3 double play. Another dynamite played short by Dalton Sheffield.
Oh, man. A young man just putting on a clinic of college baseball, and watch this play. Nice backhand drop step, feels for the ball, pulls his glove up, and what a beautiful turn by Gibbons as well. A great feed. You got to throw that, got to feed that ball up high to his left hand. But what Sheffield did was he kind of had this feel for that ball with his hands coming up and makes the grab with the glove. And boy, those can be inning killers.
That's now 39 double plays turned by Texas State this year. And Sheffield has had a hand in many of them. Second at-bat tonight for Connor Kimple. And the count's a ball to strike.
Well, it'll be tough to, you got, 6 games still left, 5.5 more games to play, but he certainly has the credentials to be the player of the year in this conference. And when you start digging in there and looking at defense, run value, RBIs, on base percentage, and you start adding all that up, that's going to be, that young man's had an incredible year, and believe me, all the head coaches know him and know of him too. I mean, they got nothing but the utmost respect for that young guy and how he plays. And by the way, his mom came back a couple days ago and got a great report from medically, and she's doing great, and that's always a music to my ears, and I love to hear that.
What Ty's referencing is that, of course, Dalton's mother has been diagnosed with cancer, and I actually spoke with Dalton Sheffield earlier this week, and he mentioned to me that you, Ty, were one of the first people to reach out and talk to the Sheffield family because of the experiences you had yourself.
Well, it's a club you don't want to be a member of. But once you're in it, you recognize there are a lot of members in it. And it's a rallying rallying type club that people want to help. They understand the experience and what you go through. For me, it was important. I was coaching their child at the time too.
Chop to third. Thompson from the infield grass. Zeke Wood facing the minimum in the third.
All those teams are. And certainly I know you were referencing Texas State, and they've just been just so good all year long. And they just keep making those plays like Sheffield Dill at shortstop right there, that double play. And when they've got to have a walk, they get it. When they've got to have a hit, they've been able to do it or make a pitch. And, Stiver's coming in. They've just been – and that's a product of it. The record you just showed. I mean, it's impressive.
So now the Bobcats are 2 wins shy of the 40-win milestone, which has only been reached twice before in team history, and they have never hit that 40-win plateau within the regular season. They have 7 games left to get 2 wins and do that. 2-1 to Faison, who hit the 3-run homer, responsible for the only run scored back in the first inning.
All right, let's circle back for a second. We're going to talk about RPI. There's also this, in basketball it's 20, right? Baseball it's 40. Mm-hmm. So if you get to that 40, you almost feel like, all right, as long as you haven't just played a really horrible schedule, then you can almost, pack your bags and say we're in as well. It gets crowded at that 35, 36. And you separate yourself when you get to that 40, which it looks like they're going to be able to do this year, and they're certainly trending and heading that way the way they played.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Faison. Fouls that one away, and no play here for the Cajuns. But again, that RPI number for Louisiana, as of today at 55, there was a D1 baseball field of 64 projection which had them in as one of the last 4 teams in the field of 64.
Yeah, but that maybe they're putting them as as an at-large, talking about the path we talked about a minute ago, or
Faison fly ball to center, long run, Marshak over his head and off the warning track. Wes Faison a double, 10th of the year, and what a start for him this weekend.
Well, just picking up where he left off I think the last 2 weekends when he's been in the game, and you kind of go, okay, his average isn't as high as what some of the other guys, and why you got him hitting 4th in the lineup? Well, he believes in this matchup with him. He thinks he matches up good with with this pitcher, with Talley, and he does. I mean, and he's probably got a history with him as well that you go back and you look at as a coach, and well, so far it's paid off.
Brings up Dalen Pena, hit by a pitch at his first at-bat. Somebody's cooking here at the ballpark. I smell it. And when we previewed this series a couple of weekends ago, you and I were notified that Bobcat fans would be returning the favor to visiting Cajun fans, and that being cooking for them as they do for so many people when they visit Lafayette.
Well, that is a confusing but beautiful moment. I'm just going to tell you all of it, like to be on the opposing team. Well, boy, that pitch just barely missed off the edge. It looked like he was a good-looking changeup away. But you go in there and you compete with them during a game, and everybody's hollering and screaming at you and trying to distract you and get after you and have fun with you. And then the game's over and they're like, hey, come eat with us. Stop by and have dinner with us.
Chop foul by Pena. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It is one of, if you've never been to a college baseball game in Lafayette, you got to go experience. It is fun. It is, and I mean that in a sincere way. But it was always just kind of like, wait a minute, you guys were just screaming at us 2 minutes ago, and now you guys are giving us this unbelievable food to take with us.
And it has become infectious, too. Had a chance to visit with longtime Cajuns radio voice Jay Walker before the game, and he mentioned that fan bases from around the Sun Belt, anytime Louisiana comes and visits their ballpark, they're now cooking for them.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome.
In places like Jonesboro, like Appalachian State.
Yeah. Well, they're going to do it here. And that group out in right field's been there all year long. And Mr. Nicholas and Mr. Sheffield and Faison and Wethridge, that group, they've been out there cooking it and doing it all year long. And I pulled in the right field corner, and there was a smoke screen going up out there, and it smelled great, looked fun. And I walked right through the middle to kind of get just a smell of the ballpark. And Brand, we've got a great crowd here tonight, by the way. And
big swing by Pena and strikes out. 4 strikeouts now for Talley.
And normally this time of year, after graduation or at graduation, our crowd would go down to Texas State because the students would leave. And but I think it shows you the interest that the fans have in this team, and then also recognizing the quality of their opponent with the Cajuns in town. And so I walked downstairs about 10 minutes before the game started to kind of walk around down there and just kind of see what it was like. And it had a really good vibe going on. And now I'm looking out at it through the glass there and looking at both sides. The sun's kind of out of the way over here on the first base side of the stands, and man, it's nice. It's a good crowd, and it's waiting to get even a little more loud either way. And if the Cajuns start playing good and doing some things, you'll hear their fans as well.
Ty, you're getting so descriptive. I thought for a second you were going to reference an amber hue.
I was not going to reference an amber hue. I mean, still don't know what that is, and so I meant to Google it and look it up because I think you made it up.
That gets away for the catcher, Brock, and will send Faison over to third. And that's not inconsequential because now another wild pitch or pass ball could add to the lead, and a fly ball to the outfield could also make it a 4-0 game.
That's huge. I mean, that's actually the second ball that's gotten by tonight, and Sheffield swing and miss, and they were able to get to first. He was able to get to first, and same thing. Yeah, now it makes the Cajuns have to try to decide what they're going to do with their infield. They're going to move them up halfway.
Wethridge grounds to third. Throw from Robertson to the catcher. Brock, there's the tag. That's why the infield comes in. 2 outs and no runs scored on the play.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's a great job at third baseman. He has to kind of shuffle over, Brant, and kind of get in position to field that ball clean. We're going to get a look at it right here. It kind of gets him to chase a breaker or something all speed. We're not going to be able to see it. Third baseman had to get over and shift over a little bit, make the play. And then you got to throw around the runner because the runner's going right down the line that he was on, so you got to clean a path to throw, and he did, made a great throw and tagged by the catcher.
Brings up Peyton Lewis with a man at first and 2 outs. Bobcats impressive at home, 23-6. Cajuns on the road, they're 14-7, and they've won 7 of their last 8 outside of Lafayette. 1 ball, no strikes.
You heard Matt this morning. I mean, he reiterated when I walked in the ballpark today, and I had a brief conversation with him, and he just said that their schedule was so hard early. Mm-hmm. Trying to learn a new group, new offense, new everything, and he felt like the schedule just kind of crawled on them and kind of got on top of them, and they've been trying to shake out of it and get going and do the things he likes to do. And boy, he's in love with their toughness. I'll say that. He's been nothing but complimentary of their toughness and how hard they play.
Hitters count to Lewis, swings and drives that one to right. Wethridge will turn from second over to third. And there's runners on the corners with 2 outs on that 2-out single from Peyton Lewis.
Well, about the time the words got out of your mouth that it was a hitter's count, the barrel reacted to it, and everybody could probably hear it and see it. And he put a great swing on that ball and drove it out to right field. John Wethridge doing a great job of putting his head down and going from first to third without any hesitation. And now you got a chance here with 2 outs if you Texas State to try to extend the lead. And everybody talks about 2 out and how important hits and RBIs. And then on the other side, if you're Lafayette, boy, you got to be able to try to get out. That pitch count just keeps climbing. He's right at 60, almost 70.
70 before the 4th inning. That's a lot of work.
And I think when Brandon Talley goes back and watches this game, I don't know how it's going to end, but that's how much fun this is. But he's going to go back and go. I missed with a lot of first pitch off speed pitches. I wasn't able to execute them or connect with them, which is what he's used to doing, and it's made him so good.
Gibbons pops it up. Leday from second. On the back pedal has it, and the Bobcats strand 2 more.
Coach is. You just read out part of it. But what not everybody got to experience is just how unreal of a man he was and how he affected so many people's lives. And I can't say enough about him for me personally as a friend and a colleague and the impact that he had on me. And I just, he's dearly missed. It was such a tragic day, and when I did news, I found out that he was, in the hospital. I was here. I just stepped away from the game too, and I was talking to some people, and it's just a bad day for the world, in my opinion. I mean, not only college baseball, but our country, our world, and certainly Louisiana and Southwest Louisiana. Again, his family and his children were, quality people, and it just exuded class, and that's what it was.
Marshak pops up. Pena from first base has room for the first out. Getting back to Coach Rowe, we talked to Matt Deggs about him, and we asked him, what did he mean to you? He said everything. Saved his life is the way that he termed it. And he went back and looked at his time as a Cajun assistant with Coach Robichaux as a part of some tremendous teams, to include that team in 2014 that, Ty, you remember. And he said that brief span of time for him as an assistant for Coach Robichaux, some of the best times of his life, of his professional and personal life. And now, of course, filling in for his taking over his role as head coach, which, the circumstances are certainly tough, but Matt Deggs honored to do so.
Well, somebody uses the word or the phrase that they helped their life, made a difference in their life, saved their life. Those are big statements. That's impacting people, and certainly Matt felt that way and feels that way, and so, but it takes quality people to do that.
Popped up into foul territory. Lewis in front of Thompson has it for the second out. A big out there retires Rockefort, and there's 2 down.
Well, you're talking about a big out and a great play by Peyton Lewis, and I think they got a little bit mixed up on the communication right there between Lewis and Thompson, but it's a great catch. You get a chance to get that guy out of the box in one pitch and not without any damage. Now you're starting to minimize, some of their offense, and you're starting to take, pieces away from their offense because that guy's been so good for them all year.
Now Julian Brock talked about how hot of a hitter he's been. On April the 6th, his average was sitting at 212. Since then, hitting better than 450 with 17 runs batted in. Oh for 1 tonight with a strikeout against Wood. Ball 1.
Well, just about every third guy that comes to the plate, Zeke Wood's doing a good job of mixing in a breaker early in the count, and that kind of opens the door. I think a lot of those guys get in there, which think, all right, I'm going to jump out a fastball and ambush a fastball early in the count, and that kind of keeps them off of it.
And there for a strike, 1-1.
And then that's the second key. If you're going to lead off with a breaker and you miss with it, you have to be willing to come back to it. Because if you don't, then you become really, really accessible to a hitter and a coach going, okay, he missed with a breaker. He's coming right back with a fastball. You can jump it out.
You look at the efficiency difference between the 2 starting pitchers, Wood and Talley. Wood now 46 pitches on the night. Meanwhile, Talley has thrown 72. A ball and 2 strikes. It's 2-2 to Julian Brock. There's Hood at first. Hit by a pitch earlier in the inning.
just got him leaning just a little bit of body language right there. Good job, Zeke Wood, of holding the ball a little bit longer. And the longer you can hold it, man, it just keeps those runners, they get anxious. They try to get out of there. They're a lot of times trying to steal on your timing. And he was definitely leaning out of there.
This sounds like a fairly obvious statement, but when the Cajuns get on base, they become very dangerous because of the way they run the bases and make that pitcher think more about the base runners than the task at hand, the hitter at the plate. Out of play.
Yeah, no, if you're not careful, they'll get you out of your leg rhythm. And, if you're used to maybe bringing your knee up a little bit higher so that you can get loaded and get your hand to the top of your delivery, and that's your normal, out of the stretch position, and then all of a sudden you're having to try to dial up a slide step, which is a little quicker to the plate to give a catcher a chance. So, yeah, then that creates elevation because the ball comes out of your hand quicker. And so, yeah, it can. There he goes.
Popped up. Pena again from first. A lot of pop-ups induced it very much within arm's reach for Louisiana. Strike one to Ortega Jones.
Well, Brandon Talley needs to have a good inning. He needs to be efficient this inning. And try to minimize and get back in and keep his pitch count down a little bit to maybe give him and his team a chance so that he can get a little deeper into the game. And they haven't been really big misses. They're right at the knees where it's supposed to be and lower. But again, Texas State's done an unreal job all year and again at night by just not chasing it and getting out of the zone.
Ortega Jones sends this one to center. Long run for Marshak. Able to reach up and makes the catch for the first out. I want to get back to Tony Robichaux here for a moment. I asked Jay Walker earlier today for a story about Robe, and he leaned on what they call a Robism. Yeah. That's what they were known as. Yeah. And one of his favorite ones was, this is something Tony Robichaux said, if you hang a breaking ball, you can still buckle the knees of high school players. In college, if you hang a breaking ball, you'll buckle the knees of the squirrels in the trees beyond the outfield.
Oh, good Lord of mercy. Yeah, that's exactly right. And that is exactly what Tony Robichaux would say.
Here's Sheffield. Good swing, but foul. Runs the count to 0-2. And Ty, when Texas State moved into the Sun Belt first year in 2014, up until then, games were being played on Easter Sunday. And Tony Robichaux, for the longest time, had been fighting to change that. And it was when your team joined the conference, you helped on his behalf campaign for that and made the change happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think I learned my lesson here. I was so used to playing on Easter in my life, and then we got here and we didn't, and I understood the value and learned what that really meant for families and for the players and for us and the coaches and our kids, for crying out loud. And so when we joined the league, Tony I'd said something to him. I said, we play on Easter Sunday? He goes, yeah. Because I've tried to change it. And so we took it to the coaches and really, politic for it, if that's the right word.
Going to be a tough play here. DeBarge, great job. Fielding and throwing from behind the second base bag for the second out.
Well, that's one shortstop going, oh, no, I'm going to get you. I'm not going to let you get this ball past me to another shortstop and two guys competing. Watch this right here. This is fun. That's a great play. He makes a great throw on the run, gets his shoulder turned just enough, and then you got Sheffield running as hard as he can down the first baseline. That's fun to watch, by the way. Sorry, Brant.
Yeah, first two of the inning retired. Talley looking for his first 1-2-3 of the night. Thompson takes ball one.
Well, if they do get him out, I'm going to go back to, because every time I've asked you a question all year long, I asked you one in between innings, and is that, I'd like to know how many innings that Texas State had that they didn't get somebody on, that they were, retired in order on the year. I'm just curious as much as anything. And so at some point in time, I know you're going to find that answer for me. You always do.
You say that. That's a very hard stat to dig up.
But is it?
It's not one that's automated.
Why not?
That's a great question. We'll talk more about that when we come back. As Thompson lines out to the second baseman.
Emotional pitcher, and it's going to be an unbelievable contest tomorrow and a great battle, and we've got a good one going now. I mean, again, when it first started, you were kind of like, well, how's this going to go? And now, they've been able to the Cajuns have been able for the last couple innings to put some zeros up to kind of slow down Texas State's offense. And, of course, Zeke Wood has had, a couple of runners get on. He's been able to answer that every time with some good defensive plays, but then been able to pitch his way through it as well.
0-2 to Tyler Robertson. Wood so far, just one strikeout. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. I know a lot of fans for the two teams paying close attention to Georgia Southern. They're in Little Rock opening up that series against the Trojans. It's a 2-2 game in the top of the 6th.
Yeah, that's right. That's a big game. I mean, all the way around for both of these teams and for Georgia Southern and really, truly, Brent, for the conference.
Mm-hmm.
We were just talking about RPI and getting multiple teams in, which I think this conference deserves. Just a strikeout with a backup breaker right there by Zeke Wood. They need, really truly Georgia Southern, the Sun Belt as a whole probably needs Georgia Southern to win, to keep that dream alive of multiple teams.
Second strikeout for Zeke Wood. Robertson's 0 for 2, and it brings up Kyle DeBarge. Had that really impressive-looking defensive play in the bottom of the 4th. A bang-bang play at first base, and we saw the reaction from Dalton Sheffield afterwards. And, Ty, you kind of made the comment during our last commercial break. He always thinks on those bang-bang plays that he's in the right.
Yeah, he's never gotten out in his mind. I love it. I mean, that's great. That's competition. He's probably sitting out there right now saying, please hit it to me, and that's just the kind of player he is. The good ones, they love that. They're out there because it makes them, just kind of injected with, with athleticism and confidence and fun. This is why they like to do it.
Another pop-up, easy catch for Ortega Jones. That's now 4 in a row retired by Zeke Wood. Cajun so far held to 1 hit. Now that was the single by Rockefeller to the second. 2 outs to 5th, and in comes Will Veillon.
And they've been able to finish the fastball at the top of the strikes. I mean, of the triangle, and until they can figure that out and how to maybe get to the barrel to the top of that ball, Brant, or take it. Either one. I mean, it's gonna be what it is right now. Some fly balls in the middle part of the field.
1-0 pitch. There's a breaking ball for a strike to Veillon, junior from Rain, Louisiana. Has been dealing with a hand issue all year. A swing and a miss for strike 2.
Boy, now I tell you what, now you're seeing something different. It's been fastball, 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 and which is Zeke Wood's MO, and now all of a sudden he's gone to that breaker. And then he comes right back to it. Another pop-up in the middle of the field, an infield.
Thompson from third. One.
And take that upper tier, and there's pretty decent separation and ability. And, right now, I mean, who knows why it ends that way. UTA, talking to Darren Thomas, at injuries, like 12, 13 guys go out. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But that never happens. That doesn't happen in a full 162 big league game. So there's
Gonzalez, opposite field to left, and the catch made. A leaping catch by Veillon, just shy of the wall. 1 out here, the 5th inning. Another defensive gem turned in by the Cajuns.
Well, their outfield I'm telling you what, Brent, they've been impressive by their ability to open up their hips, turn and run, and outrun the ball. Watch him go open up right here, turn. Got to know it. I mean, you go to a new ballpark, you don't know the true dimensions of it. You feel it, and you're kind of getting close. Your center fielder's hollering at you that you're getting close. But, boy, they've made 2 really, really good catches, one in right field and now in left field.
Tally's held the Bobcats to 4 hits, and Fazit has half of them. A home run and a double. It takes strike one here from Talley.
Man, he's got 6 total bases on him right now. That's, and 3 RBIs. I mean, he is the game as you get right into it right now. Now the at bats before leading up to him was what set it up so that there were 3 or 3 RBIs. But again, I think that's maybe the 3rd or 4th time that Brandon Talley's kind of tripped over on his landing foot. I don't know if it's a hole from Zeke Wood that he's dug out on his landing foot, but I've seen that's maybe the 3rd time he lands and then almost trips and goes to a knee, and I don't think he's in danger of getting hurt, but the consistency. You can see Zeke Wood has his left foot on that monitor. You look down there, you can see the landing spot. And so he's landing him maybe in that same general area, and his foot's kind of half in and half out of that hole.
Right field, deep. That ball is smoked and gone again. Second home run tonight, West Faison. 4-0 Bobcats in the 5th.
Oh, I tell you what, this is the West Faison show tonight. This has been unbelievable. Let's think about this. So he hits a home run over the frost sign right by the.
This season, 4 shy of tying the single season mark.
Well, I'll tell you what, West Faison's got his foot on the accelerator, try to get him there quicker than they might have thought, and boy, just really impressed. And 2 weeks ago, he had great at bats. He didn't get himself out. He took some pitches. He took walks. I think one game he had maybe 3 or 4 walks in a game, or hit batsmen, and you could kind of see he was kind of staying in there a little bit longer and staying lined up at the plate. And when hitters stay in there and they take walks and they don't get out of the and just kind of have really trash at bats and get themselves out, swing at bad pitches, and then you stay locked in, and then that ball kind of gets back into the white part of the plate, and you're able to put that swing on it, which is what he's been able to do 3 times tonight.
Two balls and a strike to Pena. 0 for 1 tonight with a strikeout. Takes that one for a strike. It's 2-2.
You got 90 pitches in the 5th. You only got 1 out. I mean, obviously you got some more pitching to do to get out of this, and there has been some activity in the bullpen. It's just been a stressful. When I say stressful, it's been a lot of 90 pitches. I mean, it's through 4 2/3, and he's. I think I go back and I watch him now. I started paying a little bit more attention to where he was landing. And he is landing about half foot in, half foot out of that hole. Now he has the option to have the field group come out and fix it if he wants to.
Here's Wuthridge. Wuthridge 0 for 2 tonight, has struggled in his career against the Cajuns. Now 5 for 30 with 10 strikeouts. Getting back to the home runs, though, Ty. Again, 71 on the year. Of the 71, 55 hit in this ballpark.
What are you trying to say?
The park has been very friendly to the hosts in St. Marcus.
Well, you play the majority of your games here, so mathematically that makes great sense. And then look, this like at the Cajuns ballpark. When the wind's out of the south, and like a lot of ballparks, when the wind's out of the south, and this April, the winds have been out of the south from the end of March all the way through. You hadn't had a north, wind come in except for one day, in late March, and so it becomes a smaller ballpark. And then, and again, you put that with power. I mean, this bunch, you can't take anything away. These guys have. I mean, their barrels have been in play all year long, from the beginning of the year, to today.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Wuthridge. Tally now 6 pitches shy of the century mark. The most he's thrown in a game this year, exactly 100, came against ULM back on April the 14th.
Man, those guys can get on out there now. Look, I'm not going to tell you the 100-pitch mark's overrated, but sometimes it is. You get out to this time of year, whether you want to or not, you need him to get you a little bit deeper into the game, and you've got to keep the game close. These guys get 7 days rest in between.
Yep.
So, now look, I'm abused pitchers. That's not what this conversation is about by no stretch. It's the opposite. Wuthridge is a good at bat right there. Didn't chase the breaker on the pitch before, hung in there and gets his walk. But my point is that if you're getting in the big leagues, everybody goes, well, he's at that 100-pitch mark. Well, those guys are pitching every fifth day. So that's different. That's 48 hours difference of rest and work. And so, the focus line on that, in my opinion, could be, I'm not saying it has to be, could be, 110 to 115. Then you can, now people use the 100 because it's a marker that a coach goes, okay, we're at 100. So we got to start looking at, yeah, that's true. To me, one of the biggest things is it's after that third time through the lineup.
Yeah.
Heading into that fourth time through the lineup. And now to me, how do you go after them differently? What are you going to do differently? What other pitch? You don't have a different pitch to go to now. You've shown them all your pitches.
Ty, to drive your point home, the Sunday starter for the Cajuns, Jeff Wilson, has gone over 120 twice this year.
Again, it has to do with your stamina. It's got to do with your strength. It has to do with your, how you physically react 6 days later. And I think sometimes in college baseball, I don't think the coaches get too, enamored with the century mark, as you like to refer to it, 100-pitch limit. It's a gauge and a barometer, but it doesn't have to be the end all to that guy. He can go back out there and get after it if his stuff is still good. He's not going to get hurt, my point. Now, where you run the risk is you get back up to 150, 140 to 150, or if you've hit the 120, 115, 110 mark, and then you have a 30-pitch inning, then your body's fatiguing because it's cardiovascular to be out there on that mound.
Getting back to the home run, by the way, Faison now with 10. It is the first time in 11 years the Bobcats have had 3 players hit 10 or more in a single season. The players this year, Faison, Sheffield, and Wuthridge. I don't know this, but I'm going to guess. And I'm going to look it up here in a minute. I think the 3 in 2011 would have been Kyle Kubica, Jeff McVaney, and Ori Kalinkoski. Does that sound right to you?
It would sound about right, yeah. And you're talking about 3 really outstanding hitters in Texas State's history. Boy, you're talking about 3 guys can make you look good as a coach.
All right, Ty, you've done it to me. I have to look it up now.
All right. While you're at it, run out that 3 up, 3 down stat for me for the year, too.
That's going to take a little bit longer. Lewis slices that one to center for a base hit. Wuthridge heading for third. Throw is high, and Wuthridge is safe.
Well, I'll tell you what, Wuthridge did a good job. He was off on a pitch. The ball was hit so hard, the center fielder had a chance to try to throw him out at third base. And when you're going like that, you've got the space and the time to get to third base. And Wuthridge does run good. The center fielder did. Marshak made a pretty good throw. Watch him close on this and come up, hop, skip. Oh, and that ball got hung in his glove just a little bit. Hung up in his glove, and it came out of his hand high. Otherwise, he might have been able to get Wuthridge there.
Lewis has reached all 3 times tonight. A couple of base hits. Runners in their corners, and here comes Seth Thibodeau. And by the way, Ty, I was exactly right. Kalinkoski, McVaney, Kubica. All 10 homers or more. McVaney, Kubica, exactly 10. Kalinkoski that year, 21.
Yeah, he had a big year, and he left some balls. People hit the 21 homers that year, and there were 3 balls that he hit at Northwestern State late in that year that would have been way out of this ballpark. But it was a wind was blowing in that weekend there, and the ball. It was night games. It was heavy, and I mean he landed on 2 more, and so that easily could have been 24 that year for him, just off of that weekend too. And it just didn't. The way that's what we were talking about. That sometimes it's got to obviously to do with your power, but then also it's got to do with how well or how hard the wind's blowing. And I can still remember a homer that Kyle Kubica hit one night against Texas Tech as a freshman. Speaking of wind, the wind had flipped right in the middle of the game and was blowing 35 straight in our grill. And I'm talking about a lot of wind traffic up here to try to hit a ball out of here. And he landed on the ball and hit it out to right field. Nobody thought they had a chance to get out of here, and they climbed out of here.
Gibbons is 0 for 2. I'd venture a guess. Either way, this is the last batter Talley faces.
That's a good point. I mean, he's 104. It's like we were talking about a minute ago, but it's been an exhausting.
A good block by Brock. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, now that's a little bit bigger miss. He's had about 2 of those misses where that ball's kind of out front of the plate, and you can see he's frustrated with himself a little bit too.
The Bobcats 4 runs, all scored off the long ball. All from West Faison. A ball and a strike. Another good block by Brock.
Well, sure is. That's 2 really a little bit bigger misses, Brent, than what he's been having. And so to answer your question, if he does or does not get Gibbons out, I'll be surprised if they go a whole lot further with him. They'd love to get him through the 5th and leave this game where it is 4-0.
Gibbons, a ground ball. DeBarge bobbles it, doesn't have a play. Another run scores. It's 5-0. Gibbons drives home Wethridge, and that could spell the end of the night for Brandon Talley.
Well, okay. Well, let's back up for a second. John Wethridge is on first base, going on the pitch, makes a good base running decision because he is an older base runner, ran hard out of the box, so he got to third base. A lot of guys would have held up because that ball was hit in front of them on the line, center fielder closing down on it, but he was able to get to third base, which is why that score is now 5-0.
And that is, in fact, the end for Brandon Talley. Unable to escape the 5th inning. The Cajuns will bring in the veteran Austin Perrin. We'll talk more about him when we come back.
Bringing him into that moment just makes it almost like a legendary type thing because it was bases loaded and he came in and got out of it. You talking about somebody making a coach look smart, and again, he helped us. I don't know how many end up going in and pitching for us the rest of the year, but gave us another guy on the back end and gave our closer some chance to catch his breath in moments too, and so as I think we'd used our closer a couple times, and he had kind of gotten tired because we were trying to win everything we could, and so it was a fun time in Luke Shirley's career here, and certainly was fun for me after we won that game.
So here again is Perrin coming in relief, Brandon Talley. The veteran making his 63rd career appearance, 12th this year. Good numbers out of the bullpen this year for Matt Deggs. And trying to limit this to a 5-0 game going into the 6th.
Yeah, this very well could be a one get him out. If you get him out and then that'd be it for him. Maybe or maybe one more inning. I don't think he'll overexhaust him because I think he's still valuable, coming in and out of games, stopping, run opportunities. You don't want the game to get away from you right here. You at 5-0, you still got a chance because you got enough outs still to do something with offensively.
Getting back to that game 4 years ago, so Shirley got his first career save, and Dalton Sheffield hit his first career triple. And, of course, here he is now 4 years later and the all-time record holder in career triples.
Yeah.
And the first came that game.
Yeah, the world evolves and keeps going, doesn't it?
2-2. Ortega Jones pops this one up. A long run in the outfield from Hood, but can't quite get there.
Well, I'll tell you what, Perrin's taking that baseball, Brent, and you talking about a changeup. Now, he's taking that thing. You watch his hand pronate through that baseball. I mean, his fingers, his index finger and his thumb and everything are getting to the front side of that baseball, and almost hard enough that that turns into a little bit of like a screwball as he can get his hand through there.
Two. A swing and a miss and struck him out. Perrin does his job in relief, but the Bobcats have added to their lead. A one-out homer from Wes Faison, his second of the night. The Bobcats scored twice the fifth.
Sleeps baseball, and he
Sheffield, what a pick. What a throw. Leday retired. Not much getting past Dalton Sheffield tonight.
I'll get back to Matt Deggs here in just a second, but he makes those plays look so easy and just makes it look like, watch this right here. That ball is smashed. Goes to his knee, feels it, gets up to his feet, throws a strike. First baseman doesn't even move his glove for crying out loud. Oh, that young man can play shortstop. It's fun to watch him when you're a defensive person. But I go back to Matt Deggs, and Matt really is a offensive-minded, and I'll use the word genius. Maybe that's too strong. I don't have any idea, but for me it makes sense because I've been around him so long, and he's just creative he pushes the game to the edge of offensively. What can you do, and how can you do things, and how can you score, and how can you get on, and he motivates. He likes hard-nosed players. You know, he deals better with it. He'll tell you it takes a special player to play for him. He doesn't hide that, and but he gets a lot out of you. When you make that choice, he gets a lot out of you too.
Campbell is 0 for 2 tonight. 1-1 from Wood. That ball lined to left in front of Gonzalez. Just his second hit tonight for Louisiana. And you're talking about a pitcher in Zeke Wood coming into his start tonight, third in the country in hits allowed per 9 innings.
Yeah, but yes, absolutely. There's kind of been that sixth inning for him where his pitch count gets up because historically, there's been some 2-2, 3-2 counts. He's been able to get guys out with it. Pitch count tonight, look at that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, 67 in the sixth inning.
Yeah, I mean, come on. That's impressive for a power pitcher, not a finesse pitcher. Now, every once in a while, finesse pitchers will get in there 3 pitches and they want you, on the base or off, or out, one or the other. But power pitchers, they'll sit in there and keep coming at you. And I'll tell you what, he's been able. He mixed in his breaker from the second inning on, which historically he hasn't.
Fly ball hit by Marshak. Ortega Jones drifting over for the second out. Ty, I want to get back to Sheffield for a second. Again, we saw that great play to start this inning. Earlier this week, D1Baseball.com ranked him as the 7th best shortstop of the country. His former teammate, your former player, Jalen Hubbard, who played at third next to Sheffield in the infield, saw that and challenged D1 Baseball to name the other 6.
Well, there's a lot to that. I applaud Jalen Hubbard for that, and it's one of his old teammates, but a guy who understands baseball and had a chance to play next to him, so he knows a lot more about him. I agree. Let's go name those guys, and I love it. I love the fact that D1 Baseball puts it out there first. I love the fact you got a guy who played with another guy, wants to step up for his old teammate and recognizes how good a player he is. And I love the idea that, baseball's a topic of tweets and conversations and challenges. And so, it just shows you the state and the direction of college baseball.
2-0 misses 3 balls, no strikes to Hood. If Hood can reach here, that brings up Roccaforte, who could really change this game with one swing with runners on base.
Well, 2 of the 3, if not, to be 2 of the 3 times he's come up leading off. And that's if you're the opponent, that's where you want him. They're going to get a chance now with a guy on, or 2 guys on, but you could see him turn and talk to. Well, I could. You couldn't see. He'd turn and look at Coach Deggs to go, hey, am I green lighted here, or do I need to take here? And what am I doing? And I'd be shocked if he didn't green light him.
Average sitting at 367 coming into the game. Rockefort, as Chad Massagill comes out to visit with Wood. His average hasn't fallen below Sheffield, pinching a little closer to second base as Rockefort grounds that one foul.
Well, he definitely green lighted him. I think he was really trying to ambush a fastball right there, and the ball kind of got in on him just a little bit. You saw Coach Massagill go out, and that was more of, okay, Here's what we're doing. Catch your breath. 1 pitch away. This is how we're gonna attack him.
0-1 from Wood. It's high. Try to hit that top of the zone as Wood has been known to do. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah, that was at the top of it, and then also out away from him enough. I think he recognized he wasn't going to be able to get his barrel to it, but.
At the same spot with that pitch, 2-1.
Yeah. Boy, and if you're Zeke Wood, you're used to everybody swinging at him, as they do.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen a ton of pitchers that have been able to pitch at the top of that triangle as continuous and as successful as Zeke Wood being able to.
That ball is ripped foul. Evens the count 2-2. Rockefort as a 2-out hitter, hitting .327 with runners on base. It's almost a coin flip. .471. RBI machine. 55 driven in. Nobody has more in the Sun Belt.
Well, if you're the Cajuns right now, you need him to get one of them. Well, there's a little bit of why that young man's pretty good. I have to go back and watch this. He gets him out front. He gets him out off balance. You heard Matt talk about if he's on balance, he's really good. He got him off balance, but he still has the ability to manipulate that barrel to fight that ball off and foul it off. Most guys in that position would have missed it.
2-2 from Zeke Wood. That'll fill the count.
It just kind of keeps building up like a big moment right here. And even though it's 5-0, if you're the Cajuns right now, you need a big hit. You need something to get your offense going. And if you do, does it get Zeke Wood out of the game, or at least puts it in their mind? And
runners take off. The swing and a foul. Rockefort just got a piece. Count remains full. By the way, score update. The Eagles have broken the game open. It was a 2-2 game of the 7th. They have scored 6 on top of Little Rock, 8-2 in that series opener.
I know those older hitters, boy, I tell you what, they don't get themselves out either. I mean, it's not the most impressive power you're going to see from Georgia Southern. They just have really quality, long at-bats. You can see Rockefort doesn't want to walk. It's that ball. He's hard to get out. He knows he's hard to get out. He fouled the same pitch. They've gone in. They've tried to get inside on him and get kind of trap that barrel, and he keeps kind of just barely sliding those hands just inside that baseball to clip it and foul it off. But he doesn't want to walk. He's up there. He knows he's up there to hit.
That ball ripped to right. That's in for a hit. It's going to drive in 2. Carson Rockefort comes through again. Kipple to the plate. Here's a throw to home. Not in time. Hood beats it out. It's a 3-run game now as the Cajuns strike against Wood for the first time.
Well, I told you he wanted to hit, right? He kept fouling that ball off, and again, I don't blame you. Their approach was we're going to try to get the ball in on it. He fouled it off. Fouled the first one off, Brant. Fouled the second one off. And, he slid those hands in there and got that barrel. And you see now why this young man right here can just hit. He slides in there, lows that barrel down in there, and, he just scooted that ball to right field.
10th double of the year for Rockefort. RBIs 56 and 57. Now Julian Brock. And some of the Ragin' Cajun chants can now be heard here for the first time in San Marcos.
They need that guy's got to deliver for him. I mean, bottom line, that's your guy. And in that moment, if you want a chance to come back and win this game, that guy had to deliver, and he did.
2-0 to Julian Brock. 0 for 2 against Wood with a strikeout so far.
And that guy is Rockefort, by the way. I know his name. I don't want somebody to get upset that I don't. But he, in that situation, he's your guy. And boy, I tell you, that's an incredibly great at bat.
Hitters count to Brock. Hit out of play. So again, the Cajuns had a 2-game midweek series at Rice, and Brock had the advantage of being able to stay at home. Stayed there overnight after the game at Reckley Park on Wednesday. Came into San Marcos yesterday.
Yeah. Part of being a team, man. Part of, golly, I wish every person in the world had a chance to be a part of a team of some sort, and the beauty of it, and the camaraderie of it. And
Brock, fly ball, left center field, and that is gone. Julian Brock, home run number 6 of the season. It's a 1-run game.
Well, just like that, they got those bats going. Hey, now, all with 2 outs, so the 2-out walk. You know, and this has been a hurdle for Zeke Wood. If there's been really and truly, it fit him where he was in the strike zone more, and now that he's got the stats to prove it, but he's a big piece of why they're leading the conference right now.
Robertson takes a strike from Dixon. Think about what the Cajuns did to Zeke Wood in this inning. In 4 conference starts at home before tonight, had allowed a grand total of 4 earned runs as Robertson grounds to Sheffield deep in the hole and mishandles it. Rush to transfer. Robertson is safe, and the inning continues.
Yep, tried to make it happen a little too quick. Knew that he had to hurry because he was to his right, had to go a little bit of ways to retreat to get it, and it was going to be a bang-bang play either way. Watch this. The ball pulled in the hole, comes off the plate high. Look, he has to go back, and then again, he's trying to transfer it really quick to get it up and out to make a strong throw, and wasn't able to make it. I'm not sure he would have got him either way.
Passman scored as an error. First for either team tonight. 8th bat of the inning comes up to Barge. But getting back to Zeke Wood, you're talking about more than 20 innings of work at home in conference play, just 4 earned runs. They got 4 against him, all with 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
Well, it looked like there was that chance that they were going to leave Rockefort back in the dugout. Remember, with 2 outs, if they got out of that inning right there and got, and would have been able to get Hood out. And no, I mean, Hood's a tough out too, but, it looked like there was a chance that maybe they leave him in the dugout, not even give him a chance. And, boy, then he fights off 2, tough heaters in on him at 94 miles an hour to get the one he can get his barrel to.
Grounds to short. Sheffield to second for the short play. Gibbons a stretch, and that'll end the 6th. But Louisiana officially back into the game. 4 runs in the top of the 6th. 2-run homer, Julian Brock. 2-run double, Carson Rockefort. It's 5-4.
That's saying, hey, they score, we got to score. We've got to answer back. And, one of the things that I would tell you that, in my opinion, is the strength, and I think most people would agree, of that Texas State team is their offense. Mm-hmm. Well, you got the right guy coming up the plate right here to lead it off. And if you're the Cajuns now, you probably, if it was 5-0, wouldn't have left Perrin in there maybe this inning and then got him out, if they scored some more or didn't score. But now you get it to a 1-run game, it starts to go, okay, let's see if he can maybe get his 3 outs, and then we'll go to the next guy and start piecing this together.
You don't see the shift on for Sheffield very often because he can hit to all fields. But look where the second baseman Leday is playing right now.
And again, it's sometimes analytically it's not about, it's where you hit ground balls.
Sheffield to right field. Hood is back. He looks. It is gone. Right, the Lightning, Dalton Sheffield. 6'4", Texas State.
Well, you know, we just talked about it. They score, you got to score, and the right guy was at the plate, and sure enough, he did. I mean, nothing. And you can look a little determined in his face. He didn't want that team to lose, and he's going to do everything he can to will his team to play and then also prove it. I mean, again, he went up there and said, I'm going to hit this ball the other way, caught the bottom half of that. He knew it. Everybody else didn't know it, but I can promise you he knew it.
Opposite field power for Dalton Sheffield off the scoreboard and right. 11th homer for Sheffield, 18th of his career. And the Bobcats' third home run tonight. They came into the game 6 shy of tying the all-time single-season record. They're halfway there.
I can't overemphasize that. Okay, the Raging Cajuns just scored 4, got the game to 1. It hadn't been much of a game. And it all looks like they've got all the momentum in their dugout, and did have all the and then that young man steps up there and says, "Now I'm just going to step up here and hit up, my 11th homer of the game."
Robertson from behind the bag. The throw pulls the first baseman Rockerford off, but the stretch able to stay on the bag when he caught the ball. Rockerford, a great play for the first out.
Well, you said that just right, Brad. That was a great play. That's that delay step. Look, if you've never had to make this play as a first baseman, the ball's thrown up the line, you got runner pressure on you. The runner, I'm telling you what, the runner's coming right at you. And watch him. He's got to slide to the inside of this guy. Cat, look at this. You don't think that's not hard to do? Stands in there and just has a delay step, holds onto that bag just enough.
Now to bring up Gonzalez, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, facing Perrin for the first time.
Yeah, you go try to catch a ball with somebody running, at you as hard as they can. That's not easy to do. I'll tell you what, Brock has gone to his knees, I bet you, 10 times tonight, blocking balls. I think there's, a lot of off-speed pitches trying to mix up these hitters, and because that lineup, again, is just so, they just keep coming at you.
Brock a year ago was playing behind the Sunbelt's newcomer of the year, Derek Osborne, transferred into Louisiana from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. Had a remarkable year, so Brock couldn't really get much playing time. But once he got into a groove middle of this season, behind the plate, at the plate, he's turned into one of the better catchers in the Sun Belt.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, he's gone to his shins a handful of times tonight.
Does it again.
Yep. I'll tell you, there's nobody more excited that there's AstroTurf out here than he is right now, as many times as he's gone to his knees.
Full count to Gonzalez. So the Bobcats, with 3 homers in the game, gives them 72 in the year. They've become the 24th team in the country to eclipse 70 home runs this season. The nation leader is Tennessee with 116.
Yeah, in the SEC.
A swing and a miss, and Gonzalez strikes out for the 3rd time for the 2nd out. And by the way, 2nd place in the country in home runs, going to be a Sun Belt member next year. Old Dominion has 100.
Really? So, I don't know anything about their park. I know about their program. I don't know about their facility. I don't know what that looks like. And I'm sure they've got to come down south and spend a little bit of time early in the season, I would think.
Here comes Seth Thibodeau as Wes Faison comes up. And Coach Thibodeau not calling for a change right now. This is a discussion about Faison because, look, Brandon Talley couldn't figure him out. Faison 3 for 3, 2 homers and a double. But now we see a look to the pin, and that will, in fact, be it for Perrin. So they will go from a left-hander to their first right against South Alabama back on March 25th. In just 5 2/3. Strike 1 to Faison. So think about that for a second. That's 17 outs,
I am thinking
14
about it.
via the strikeout.
I am thinking about it. Your math is quicker than mine. I think, Coach Deggs right now, you're running out, another one of your better relievers and a good breaker. You're trying to, you're talking about a guy who's changed the game tonight. Wes Fazen's changed the game offensively, himself and his offensive efforts. So when he gets up there, you're like, I've got to find a way to calm him down, slow him down, and get him out and get us in the dugout. And so they bring in their best right-handed reliever with a good breaker. It's a plus fastball.
Fazen fly ball, right center field. Marshak is back. Another one lands for Fazen. 2 home runs, 2 doubles.
I'll tell you what. That's impressive on so many levels. I don't even know what to say. They changed what they do on him. They changed their strategy. They changed their angle. They changed everything. Catches a breaker, running away from him. Drives that thing where he hit the double before. So I've got him figured out now. He hits his doubles right there in the center field, and he hits his homers spread out down a little more to the corners.
2-out double brings up Dalen Pena. 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Ball 1 from Bo Bonds.
And that fastball's got a little giddy up to it, too, now. A little high angle, a ball, it's a high break, driving that thing downhill. Got good life to it. And he fell behind and, ran that breaker in there, and ball Fazen landed all over that thing.
Breaking pitch in for a strike. Fazen able to beat the throw from Brock from behind the plate. So typically the Saturday games here in San Marcos have started at 2:30 Central, moved back to 4 o'clock tomorrow. Finale set for 1 p.m. on Sunday. Think about this too. Next week is a short week. The final weekend series for everybody in the league starts Thursday.
You start to, you start to think about it's a 24-hour difference for your starters, yes. But you also start to think about that next week, too, which is the tournament. Mm-hmm. But if you're Texas State, you're driving a different bus than everybody else, right? So you're going to play your zone out because you're in an RPI situation. So, so you don't have to win the tournament. So you kind of just keep going and keep playing the games, and you're going one game at a time, trying to win a conference championship in RPI-wise. And Lafayette the same way. That next week is when it really gets tangled because you short week this week and then you short week the next week too. Mm-hmm. Then it really starts to kind of pile up on those guys.
Pena strikes out for the 3rd time. A tough night at the plate. The Bobcats stranded a runner at second. This is Connor Higgs, redshirt freshman from Texas City, Texas, pinch hitting for Will Vayon, which means we'll see a new left fielder in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, Texas City, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's where Matt's from, if I remember right. Going back to that number 36 and Robot, that ball smashed. That may be a double. Oh, just foul.
Just foul.
Boy, you talking about just foul. If that had been a dry, dusty day in late May and wind blowing and went back when we had chalk on the field, that might have thrown up some chalk right there and it would have looked fair. But I think, Southwest Louisiana State, I think is what it was called then. When they were playing good baseball back in the day too. Their history was pretty good. But Tony took it to a whole nother level. The crowd, the community, the involvement, it's a special place to go watch a game. It truly is. And if you love to go watch Cajun baseball, and it's a rowdy, fun crowd that's energetic and not dirty by any sense. It's energetic and fun, and he built that. And Coach Deggs is doing a good job of furthering that on. But it made it a special. it made baseball not just relevant, made it really relevant. And, you know, they hosted the regional that year and the super regional, and, you know, it's taken them to Omaha before, and that's not easy to do, by the way, at a mid-major.
A ball and 2 strikes, fouled away. And yes, the Cajuns went to Omaha in the year 2000 and became NCAA regulars under Coach Robichaux, a few appearances in super regionals as well. That team in 2014 was ranked number 1 in the country going into the tournament that year. And that's under Pena into right field. Higgs digging in for second, and he is there. So Connor Higgs, a pinch hit leadoff double, starts the 7th for Louisiana.
Boy, he wasn't going to be denied, was he? He hit that one ball down there, and it was just right there on the line, whether it was maybe fouled by an inch or two, and then he comes right back and smashes that ball, pull side, catches. Looks like he caught a break. Yep, caught a breaker. And Pena did it. Oh, just barely got over the top of his glove. He got stuck in between being able to all-out dive for it, and then Wathridge does a good job of closing down that ball and throwing a strike to second base. And a great job of coming off the bench and getting a base hit.
Now Bobby Leday represents a tying run. You think about the bats that are coming up. After Leday, you got Kimple on deck. Not too far away from getting to Heath Hood and Rockefeller and then Black. This could be a big inning here for the Cajuns.
Well, it can. Potentially it could be. I think what Coach Diggs did is he was like, you know, because Dixon's breaker is so good that I think it's hard on right-handed hitters. That arm action, Brant, he lowers that hand. It puts a lot of pressure, a lot of stress on front shoulder and hips of right-handed hitters. And then that fastball kind of bores in on you. Then he's running that breaker off that same line, running in a different direction. And, boy, it's tough on right-handed hitters. So he chose to go to a left-handed guy. Breaker ran back into him, pulled it down the line for a double. Just like that fastball in on right-handed guys. And now, if he stays true to form, he throws a fastball in. Now you might see that breaker coming in off that same angle and that same line.
Dixon was the one who came in relief of Zeke Wood early in the game last Friday. 5 innings out of the bullpen. Got the win against ULM. There's the bunts, and it's foul. 1-2 to Leday.
So that's Matt Degg's special right there. Everybody's thinking, okay, we're down 2. He's going to probably just try to hit his way on. He already took a swing. The next thing you know, he's trying to drop a drag bunt down, which is a great play. It's a great offensive play. If he'd got it down there, it would have, surprised a lot of different people. That's his creative way of trying to score runs.
Leday coming off a very productive midweek series against Rice. 5 hits in the 2 games. 1-2, struck him out swinging. And a big first out for Tristan Dixon.
I think that's also why he tried to go maybe to the drag bunt right there, because he knows that Dixon's got that good breaker. What we were just talking about, he throws that breaker off that inside fastball line, and he was thinking, okay, with nobody out, maybe if we push right here, get the runner to third, even if we get out, and we do get the run in, then we're cut that lead in half.
And now Connor Kimple singled his last time up and scored on the double hit by Rockefeller. Here's a funny story about Dixon. He and fellow reliever Austin Smith, a left-hander, apparently make quite the musical duo. Dixon plays the guitar, Smith the singer.
I like it. Got a lot of time on your hands out in that bullpen. I won't be surprised if we don't see just a whole bunch of breakers. Yeah.
Foul tip strike, 1-1.
Well, you can go through a stat sheet and you start reading in there. If a guy has high strikeout ratio, usually a lot of times it has to do, maybe he chases. And so right now, man, if you're Kimble, you got to go up there and almost kind of expect you're going to see some breakers and maybe try to hit that thing back up the middle and the other way with it.
Marshak is on deck. Leadoff double from Connor Higgs, who was 3 for 18 before that double with 11 strikeouts. 2-2.
Well, that's 4 straight breakers. He might, if you're going to try to sneak one in, you might try to, you'd be able to do it now.
Kipple has been a clutch player in conference games this year. Walk-off hitting his UTA just last week. Looking to get on base. Instead, strikes out looking. 2 outs.
There you go. I mean, that's 5 straight breakers. And it's just now you can see now why, Dixon's been so good, why he's so hard on right-handed hitters. Watch him just kind of locks him up. Whoop, it just kind of locks him up. And he knew it, too. I mean, it's just one of those things as a hitter. You might have been thinking maybe they're going to try to sneak a fastball in here. Boy, and he just stayed breaker.
Now Marshak with 2 outs. Grounded, stays fair. Pena, an easy play at first. Dixon, able to work around the double from Higgs. It is time to stretch.
No, it's just baseball's important there. Nothing wrong with that. Is here too.
So Ron Guidry went from the vermilion red to the Yankee pinstripes as we go to the bottom of the 7th. Wuthrich, Lewis, and Gibbons facing Bo Bonds. Swing and a miss by Wuthrich. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I'll tell you what, we're seeing two good college breakers right now. Dixon and now with Bonds, those breakers have got some depth to them.
Wuthrich lays off of that one. And both wear the number 2, by the way. Dixon for Texas State.
Only you would pick that out, by the way.
Bonds for Louisiana.
I'm just saying. I'm locked in on these breakers, and
That's what makes this dynamic work, Ty.
Yeah. Well, he's got to get back in there now on the 3-1. He's gotten behind. Wuthrich didn't chase those breakers. I don't know how he didn't chase them because those breakers are that good, but yeah. Well, you fall behind when those guys don't chase those breakers every once in a while. Sometimes you get used to hitters chasing those things, and now you got Peyton Lewis coming up, left-handed hitter. Yeah, I don't think they're going to bunt right here. I think they're going to go ahead. I mean, they haven't spent a whole lot of time bunting with these guys, but hey, man, as the season gets on down the road, you start going for 1 run because you got one of the best bullpens going right now in the league with Dixon, and then Stiver's right behind him.
So a disciplined at-bat there by Wuthrich leads to a leadoff walk. Lewis doesn't show a bunt, takes a strike. And you mentioned Stivers. So many times this year has gone beyond an inning for a save. But that bullpen is whisper quiet right now. One is to assume that Dixon will come back out of the 8th.
Well, if this game stays tight like this, I think he'll be back out there.
1 ball, 1 strike to Lewis, who's had a very productive night. Hit by a pitch, hit a couple of singles. He has reached 3 times.
Well, yeah, you're right. It's been kind of quiet because Fazen's been hitting homers and doubles everywhere in Sheffield.
It's a very interesting delivery from Bonds, by the way. Really pops and locks his arms after he comes out of the stretch.
It shows you a lot of different glove and elbows and high break. Boy, and that hand comes right out from behind that glove when he does break.
Have to imagine as a hitter, it's so tough to pick up on the timing from Bonds.
Yeah, it is tough. For sure it is. Boy, he's just been on the edge, and you can look out there. Brock's set up out there. I mean, his left leg was outside the line on those 2 fastballs away.
Full count.
Trying to get Lewis to chase a fastball away. I'd be anxious to see right here. They have stayed. They've thrown 1 breaker in the sequence, and everything else has been fastballs away. And you'll watch Brock, if he gets his left foot back out there on that line again, it's pretty much, you can bet it's going to be just that. Didn't chase.
Back-to-back walks to start the 7th. The Cajuns have typically been stingy when it comes to surrendering walks, but that's now 4 given up tonight. And no team in the Sun Belt has drawn more than Texas State. So when you lead the league in walks, doubles, and home runs, you're going to score a lot.
Well, I'm going to back that up. If you lead the league in walk, you're going to have more doubles and homers because that means you're not striking out and chasing.
Mm-hmm.
That means you're separating, you're differentiating between swinging at bad pitches or good pitches. So that tells me that's why one of the first things I look at when I get up a stat sheet is I want to know what a team is like with their strikeout walk ratio. It tells me a little bit about their team automatically. And then if it's so, then you go there, and then if they do have power numbers, if they have power potential, then their power numbers are going to come through. Now, I do think we're going to see a sacrifice bunt here. And I do think they're going to try to possibly play a small game right here in the 7th, down at the bottom of the order, in the 8th inning, or in the 8th part of their order right here.
Bunts over the top. Strike one.
Now, that's one of those power fastballs that, every once in a while you'll tell those pitchers, hey, in a bunt situation, let's go above the barrel, try to get them to pop it up in the infield.
Ty said it, this team doesn't sacrifice a lot simply because they haven't had to.
And the second attack of that from the pitcher's perspective is a runner breaker away from his barrel. Because now he's trying to hook that ball down the third baseline. You start running those breakers away from the barrel, you got to extend that barrel out even further to try to get that thing to hook it to the third baseman.
A ball and a strike from Bo Bonds. Gibbons looking for the sacrifice. Instead, swings away, fouls it off, 1-2. Ortega-Jones on deck. After that, it's Dalton Sheffield.
Well, if you're Bo Bonds right here, you're trying to – you got to kind of go to work on that, what you just saw, that swing. He fouled that ball off to the right side and was behind it. You might take one chance at a breaker, but that fastball kind of got on top of him too.
A swing and a miss. Elevated the fastball. Gibbons strikes out.
Yeah, he did his homework right there, Brad. He saw him foul that fastball up and away from him, was behind it. And he chose to go just a little bit more above that barrel, and he couldn't quite get that barrel to catch up with it.
That's 2 strikeouts now in relief for Bonds. And here's Ortega-Jones, hitless tonight, 0 for 3. Senior from Fort Worth. He was the one who scored the game-winning run last Friday at ULM in the 9th inning.
Good-looking fastball right there, Brad. Boy, I tell you what, he was just talking about how he throws that glove out in front of everybody, kind of gets those hitters just to flinch just a little bit. Boy, I mean, he drove that fastball down and away.
His last 2 fastballs have hit 93 on the gun, by the way.
Yeah, but it looks harder to those hitters when it's like that because he's got a little herky-jerky motion to it. And
the Bobcats have led throughout. Struck for 3 in the first on a 3-run homer from Wes Faison. At one point led 5-0. Cajuns a 4-run 6th. It's currently a 6-4 game here in the 7th, series opener. Could be 2. Play at second. DeBarge to first. A 4-6-3.
A testament to good coaching and him changing his arm action and finding something that really works for him. And, boy, it's totally different looking than what it was a year ago.
Don't have the exact numbers, but it feels like Dixon has thrown 90% breaking ball so far. Good pick by Thompson. 1 out.
Well, to the right-handed hitters he has. I think, well, yeah, I mean, it's probably about 60, 70. Now, Kimple he did. It was all breakers. It was 100% breakers. But I think he came back and threw a fastball, maybe 2 to Morshock, and
Rockerfort, big 2-run double last time up. Bobcats have the shift on against Rockerforts. Up to 57 RBI on the year. Battling Dalton Sheffield for Player of the Year honors in the Sun Belt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, 2 pitches right almost in the same spot. But what they're trying to do now, Texas State's going to make him try to empty his barrel the other way. He's gone pull side twice. Well, that's so hard when you got a guy just throws 2 fastballs on that outer half of the plate, just dots him, and then he comes back with a backdoor breaker off the same line. That's great execution.
Julian Brock, who homered his last time up, represents the tying run. Nobody on base, but this still a very important out for Dixon. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, I tell you what now, you went back-to-back fastballs to start him off. They stayed on that outside line. I think they're going to stay out there again. Yep.
Fly ball, left field. Back is Gonzalez. It is a 1-run game. Carson Rockerfort, 14th home run of the season. It's now 6-5.
Boy, this is fun, Brand. I don't. We're seeing a great baseball game, and we're watching a young man. They made him. What did I tell you? They were going to try to make him empty his barrel the other way, and he did. He emptied it the other way. I mean, again, it was that moment in a count where you went back-to-back fastballs, you went back-to-back breakers, and he just shows you the kind of barrel control he's got. Watch this, sliding forward, watch that, and just gets that barrel extended through that baseball. Up into the little bit of the jet stream. Wind's not howling now.
Once down 5-0. Louisiana not going away. It's a 1-run game in the 8th. Brock the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike from Dixon.
Oh, good job with Dixon right there. Misses with a breaker to start after giving up a homer. Misses barely with a breaker. Then comes back and repeats the breaker again. Doubles up on it and gets it in there for a strike. Oh!
And Brock hit by a pitch. And the tying run is on now for Louisiana.
Well, we all know that's not on purpose. You're not trying to put base runners on at this point in the game, but I can tell you that. I can tell you this. That didn't feel very good.
Mm-hmm. Brock hit for the 5th time this year. Our home plate umpire, Stephen Hagan, out a few steps, but looking for new baseballs, that's why. And now it's Tyler Robertson.
And, and Brock's not one of their, they love to run the bases, but he's not going to be one of their, prolific base stealers. If he does, I would think it would be in a hit-and-run mode more than it'd be a straight steal, but
with that breaking ball, Dixon can be a ground ball pitcher too. Bobcats infield playing for double play. They have turned 1 already in this game.
Wow, that's 91-mile-an-hour sinking fastball. You don't get some talking about getting ground balls. You run that fastball up underneath somebody, a right-handed hitter, and you just trap that barrel.
A swing and a miss. It's 0-2. Louisiana swept UTA last week. All 3 wins came by a single run. A reason why they've been so good as of late, they've played well late in games. 0-2. Out of play.
You got to be looking right now. Brock, you've got to be looking for him to maybe bury one of those breakers into the ground. try to get out there, recognize it early enough that you can extend out, see this going to be in the dirt or turf, however you want to say it, try to find your way to second base.
0-2. A foul tip strikeout. 2 outs here in the 8th inning. And now Robertson on a 1-for-19 stretch. And it brings up Kyle DeBarge.
I'm not sure who's going to hit that. I mean, that's just pretty good pitching right there. And he got him. I got ahead early. Got him at 0-1. Then he throws that breaker off the plate for strike 2. And then he runs a fastball off that breaker outside line, and just at 92 miles an hour runs back over the plate just enough. And boy, that's tough.
DeBarge takes a strike. Hitless tonight. DeBarge, though, coming off a 6-hit midweek series against Rice. Scored 4 times in Wednesday's win. It represents a go-ahead run here. Man on, 2 outs, series opener in the 8th. But the Bobcats believe they have the best back-end bullpen in the Sun Belt with the Tristans, Dixon and Stivers. Dixon working now, trying to keep it a 1-run game.
That's hard to argue with. I'm not sure if I would have been him, I wouldn't have leaned into that and caught that breaker on my calf in an 0-2 count.
Higgs, who doubled off of Dixon, awaits on deck. Or Higgs, I beg your pardon. 1-2. Again, Louisiana already run scored in the 8th on the home run hit by Roccaforte. Brock stands at first. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pops him up. Gibbons called off by Wuthridge, and the lead remains intact. Home in his last at-bat against Perrin. Takes a strike on the fastball, 0-1.
Both teams running their best relievers out there. I mean, that tells you a little bit about the importance of this game, what each of these guys. And nobody, even Lafayette did when they were down 5-0.
Sheffield with a fly ball. Pretty well hit. Center field. Sheffield's second one tonight. Rides a lightning again. It's 7-5.
Yeah. I mean, that guy has found so many barrels. He just continues to find barrel after barrel after barrel, and he knew it at the moment. Very, very few people understand when you hit a home run that you know it's out as soon as you hit it. And as soon as he hit this ball, hit a ball the other way. Watch this right here. That's when you know it. Yeah, and you go into the deep part of the park too, mind you.
The deepest, arguably. Just to the right of the batter's eye, Sheffield with the Michael Jordan shrug after he crossed third base, looking back into the dugout.
What a year.
Thompson takes one inside, and again, there are 3 viable candidates for Player of the Year, but with all due respect to Carson Roccaforte and Miles Symington from Louisiana and South Alabama respectfully, it feels like it's Sheffield's award to lose.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
And even when you talk to the folks in Lafayette, as I did earlier this week, they believe he is the front runner for the award, even with the year Roccaforte is having.
Yeah. Well, we got 2 of them right here all weekend, and they both have performed at an incredibly high level tonight.
So the Bobcats, 4 home runs from 2 players, 2 each from Faison and Sheffield, as Thompson draws a walk.
Well, if you're the Cajuns right now, you really want to keep this. Obviously, you want to keep this thing close to have a chance to win the game. But the other piece of this puzzle is you want to keep it close to give yourself a chance, but you want Texas State to have to use their closer. Anytime you can make guys use their best guys.
Two of the top hitters in the Sun Belt Conference exchanging solo home runs in this 8th inning. Rockefeller to the top, Sheffield here on the bottom.
Hey, what he executed that fastball away right there pretty good. And that's what he's going to have to do. But he's been so good hitting the ball the other way and against left-handed pitching.
Gonzalez smacks that one up the middle for a base hit. His first hit tonight. It has been a frustrating Friday for Gonzalez. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. Delivers there. And the first 3 have reached for the Bobcats here in the 8th inning.
I think that ball was hit off the end of his bat. We're going to see a defensive play. Replacement. Ben McClain's going to come in and run for him, then go to the outfield for him when they go to defense. I think that ball was hit. It was hit off the end of the bat into the second baseman. He thought it was hit hard, and it's like getting thrown a changeup. Mm-hmm. He maybe could have stayed on his feet and gotten to that ball, or maybe hesitated a little bit longer on his dive for the ball.
Brings up Wes Faison. 4 for 4, 2 homers, 2 doubles, 4 driven in. What a night for Faison. And you've heard the phrase come from me a couple of times now, demon time. I have asked his teammates, including Sheffield earlier this week, what does that mean? Even they can't tell you. It was something that started from his ex-teammate, Chase Evans, who ended his career a year ago. He kind of started this, and it's his way of telling Faison, hype yourself up. Get out there, play like a demon.
Yeah. And
Faison has been every much part the demon tonight.
He's been Superman. So him and Sheffield, both those guys have been like going to make a change. I assume they were going to try to go right. At this moment, you want to get this game slowed down, and boy, you look up and you got to face this guy.
Hammond against Faison here in the 8th inning. Strike 1. Think about the year Faison was having in 2020 before the doors shut on that season early. He was so good, was named a preseason All-American going into last year. Wasn't healthy last year, and the numbers just weren't there. Hit a $162 a year ago. Kind of hit himself out of the lineup midseason at one point this year, and has swung himself back in a big way. It's almost like they've made a free agent acquisition mid-season with him.
That whole team's made it from a year ago. I mean, he is really turned a corner and become an offensive force again like he was in that 20 season. Now, I'm going to throw this in there, too. They're going to occasionally be a little bit – Hammond's going to have to pay a little bit more attention to Thompson out there at second base. It looks like he's about to try to get out of there.
Moving a lot.
Yeah, they're going to try to pick and try to hold him in there a little bit tighter. They saw the same thing that I was able to see too. But, again, I think it's the part of it for Faison has been that he's been able to swing at the pitches that he can handle. Mm-hmm. And he's been able to master that side of him through experience. Maybe even through failure some. Been able to figure that out. That's
what this game is.
Yeah.
You know, the good batting average is you're failing 70% of the time.
Yeah, but the experience part, the hard part as a player is understanding that the failure is a benefit moving forward if you can figure out why. If you can get past the emotional drama of it first, or trauma in some situations, and learn and benefit from the experience and learning moving forward is what older hitters have done. Which I've claimed all year long this was going to be the best college baseball season ever because there was so many older hitters and older base runners. Again, a run was scored because Wethridge went from first to third. A young runner doesn't do that. He does not do that. And so here we are strapped in a 2-run game, partly because of that.
See, now that's a pitch that the phase-in from a year ago in the first 8 weeks of this season may have swung at on 2 strikes.
There's no question. There's no question about it. And if you didn't have some of these fifth-year seniors in there, that might be a freshman or a sophomore who probably for sure would have swung at it.
A good breaking pitch by Hammond. Faison lays off. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Struck him out swinging. Big pitch there from Hammond. And Faison retired for the first time tonight.
Oh, he did. He threw him a good pitch. Looked like something like a running away from him just a little bit. A little late recognizing him or recognizing the pitch. I guess you can't hit a homer or a double every time, right? Oh, that was a fastball away. He just kind of held on it a little bit longer and looked like it ran away. He powered that thing through there. That's a good-looking pitch.
And at 93 miles an hour.
Yep.
Here's Pena. Tough night for him. Swung on center field. Marshak able to track it down. Pena. A good swing, but flies out, and there's 2 down.
I'll tell you, I've noticed this, and again, I want to make this in a positive way, not a negative way. And nobody understands the game as, Matt Deggs understands the game really well, but what he's done with his outfield, and he has tremendous confidence in their ability to open their hips and turn their shoulders and run and go get balls. I want you to look at how tight they play defensively and their depth. No other team comes in here and plays at that depth because of the wind and because of the way the ballpark sets up and because of the power. We just saw a ball.
That's huge. It takes your force outs away from first and second, and a base hit guarantees 2 runs here for Wethridge.
Well, it certainly increases your odds if you get a base hit. And an error comes into play while pitch, which that ball almost got by him right there a little bit too. That had a little extra grumpy behind it, and almost pulled that thing past him.
Breaking ball, 2-0 to Wethridge. Again, if the Cajuns can keep this at a 2-run game in the top of the 9th, they'll have Higgs, Leday, Kimple due up. After Kimple, Marshak, and then Hood. Imperative they keep this at 7-5.
Boy, this is a big picture and a plus count if you're Wethridge. For him, you go in there and throw a breaker, you go fastball. Boy, he went fastball away. Good-looking one, too.
Elevates that anymore. Wethridge is swinging. Spotted that fastball for a big strike 1.
Well, he did. That's a good-looking pitch.
Wethridge hitless, but with 2 walks. 2 balls and a strike.
By Boone, I love it because Texas State likes to run down the line and get your attention, try to get you to balk or to raise up or to get your attention, distract you, and all right, I'll run a pick over there.
Big swing. 2-2.
Boy, that breaker stayed in the front side of it, too. It looked like that barrel was going to catch up to that thing, and I don't know if he'd have been able to keep that fair because it was in, but, boy, that thing was just kind of hanging in it, just enough depth to it to miss his barrel. I'm anxious to see now. He did the phase and he got him on 2 strikes, powered a fastball the outer half of the play. Is he going to go back and try to do the same thing with Wethridge? No, went with a breaker.
Struck him out swinging. Hammond, 2 big record. 61 strikeouts in 42 2/3 innings. with 13 walks. That is strike one to Connor Higgs. Higgs, Leday, Kimple due up for the Cajuns in the ninth inning.
If you're the Cajuns right now, you got to try to figure out how to elevate this bottom half of the order to the top of your order. You got to figure out how to walk, hit batsmen, base hits, some way to swing this thing back up to the top.
Stivers walked the stage earlier today. One of a handful of Bobcat baseball players who graduated as a part of today's ceremonies. Sheffield, Thompson, Ortega-Jones, some of the others.
To left-handed hitters, back foot, to try to get them to swing right over the top of it.
Pinch hitter for Louisiana, Trey LaFleur, sophomore from Pensacola, Florida. Came up huge this past Sunday against UTA, a 2-run homer and the walk-off RBI hit in the 11th. Looking to get on here in the 9th. And lines that to Sheffield for the second out.
Well, kind of what happened a minute ago to the second baseman. The ball was hit off the end of the bat, so it hits at you like a changeup. So you saw Sheffield kind of get ready to jump, twice, and then he had to wait for it a little bit. You can see his smile on his face. He had to hit a changeup, and he hung in there and jumped up and caught it.
Brings up Connor Kimple, who hails from Whitefish Bay, Wisconsin, where his parents still live. They've only made 2 weekend trips all season, one to Atlanta and to this series this weekend. Strike one.
Well, I tell you what, this game has been fun. I can hear the Texas State crowd getting up to their feet and clapping, trying to end this game where it is, but this has been a great Friday night game.
It's games like this that makes Friday so special in the Sun Belt Conference. You have two of the better programs battling it out near the top of the standings. Two teams you could see play in the NCAA tournament going at it. Ground ball to Sheffield. And the Texas State Bobcats have won their 4th straight series opener. They take it on a Friday night for the Cajuns, 7-5.
Well, I'll tell you what, Brad, that's exactly